the most powerful thing I can say about stablecoins and payments is the community. In speaking about the future of how money is going to move around communities, how money is going to not be gate kept anymore, how individuals can take advantage of using digital rails to move money peer to peer and still have the ability to use traditional rails if they want to, not because they're forced to use it. The largest thing about the peer to peer piece is it's permissionless at the end of the day. So you don't have to ask for permission to move your money between you and your friends, you and your family, or whoever. You use the traditional rails. That means you have to use the traditional way of, let's say, purchasing stocks or purchasing securities, bonds, gold, silver, you name it. It that is already hard for a lot of individuals that you mentioned, like the lower class citizens. But with stablecoins, there are already platforms that are allowing individuals to be able to partake in stocks and IPOs, which normally you have to be an accredited investor to be able to even have a chance to build wealth. But with stablecoins, you can purchase stocks, you can purchase digital or tokenized gold, tokenized silver, tokenized real estate, ETFs. They're out here. The new rails that are being built right now, when it comes to stablecoins, there aren't that many fees. The rails reduce the amount of fees because of just how innovative the blockchain technology is. And so with that, when you're using a stablecoin, your money is moving peer to peer on open rails. And kind of giving an analogy, it's like the toll booth disappears. And so like all you have is your dollars, and that's it. I mean, of course, if you want to send money peer to peer, then yeah, it's going to be virtually free, depending on whichever network you use. But that is a relief versus the traditional rails that we have now, or rather that people use now, where they're constantly being nickeled and dimed. I think ultimately it definitely support individuals being able to touch that money, and it gives people the ability to not only touch the money more, because it would stay in the community, like from cash out points, or like community incentives, or like we discussed a little earlier, being able to set up and program the money, the stablecoin, to be able to do specific things that you normally wouldn't be able to do with the dollar or traditional rails online. Again, let's say that you have a community where you go and I mean, it's assuming that some people are developers, but there are no code tools out here. But assuming you have a dev that is able to build something within their community where every time someone uses a stable coin, they get cash back, and that cash could go towards the community grocery store, or the community pet store, or it could go into fundraising without having to take that extra manual step to move those fees into in these places. You have so much more programmability that you can do, that I truly believe that the money overall would stay in the community if longer if it was a stable coin than traditionally. Otherwise, you have the same thing that's happening now, where fees are going to more than likely be eaten up by the middlemen, and by that time, there's not going to be much, basically much financial gain from that for the community to actually be able to benefit from. When you really look at, stable coin or um, a digital dollar, that's really all it is. It's just a digital dollar, but it's just in a different format. Um, but a dollar is a dollar, and so with that, it's not rocket science to think like, how to actually be able to use the dollar just, you know, online. I mean, we do it all the time from Visa, swipes, and using your card online, your debit card, or PayPal, or Venmo, Zelle, you name it. But the difference with the traditional system and stables, again, it is that peer-to-peer functionality that makes the stable coin so much more valuable. But again, this doesn't take away from the traditional system. An asset that is regulated already and it's moving globally around the world, trillions of dollars moving around the world. It's just now individuals have the option to move that same amount of money in massive volume without asking for permission to use their money. And how I see it is, it's not crypto versus the bank. It's not blockchain versus the bank. It's a dollar that you already have, that you can already trust. You're just able to move that dollar at the speed of the internet, and you have it's supercharged. It's the dollar supercharged. You're able to move it at the speed of the internet, but at the same time don't have to ask for permission to use your money wherever you need to, with minimal fees. The money that is moving traditionally, that added friction, well, that only goes back into the old guard, the old rails that exist today. And so they're the ones that are going to be benefiting, not the communities themselves. And so with these new rails that come through, you are able to, one, go peer to peer, which you eliminate the middleman completely. And also by doing that, a lot of that friction that we had previously, with the traditional rails, that money now, if you wanted to add on, let's say, a small fee to, a transaction here or there, you can, but that money can be programmed to basically set up for different like co-op or different like community gatherings, or like you could set up so many different things with that money that was once going to these traditional rails, to then be able to utilize this money a little bit more. So it's like the peer-to-peer system, it not only makes the money move faster, but you're actually able to compound the money into something that could be real within the community. We should definitely know and learn more about this technology, because this definitely opens the door for individuals to, again, take advantage of being able to send stable coins peer-to-peer without having to worry about the extra friction that you normally would see if you were to use something like a MoneyGram or PayPal or Western Union, and the list goes on. With a stablecoin, you have much more programmability. So what I mean by that is, if again, assuming that you are, a dev, or, someone that knows how to code, and even if you don't know how to, there are no code solutions. But with that, you're able to set in rules inside of the stablecoin So to basically take advantage of the technology that exists within the stablecoin. So um, the, you can set the fees. You can set where the fees are going to go. You can pool together funds with other users to then pay for, Chris's cup of coffee, or whatever the case may be. You have so much more flexibility with the stablecoin that you just simply won't see with the traditional rails.